Hello, children. Welcome to the English class. Children, in our first unit titled Family, we have learned the importance of family. Yes, undoubtedly, family plays a vital role in everyone's life because family introduces us to the world where we learn the importance of social skills from our parents. Family makes us feel secure and comfortable, and it is also important for the socialization. Yes, children, now it is clear that home is the best and happiest place in the world for everyone. In this session, we are going to deal with Unit 2 titled Social Issues. Yeah. Let us try to understand what is social issue. Yes, social issues is a problem that influences many citizens in a society. Poverty, unemployment, unequal opportunities, racism, and malnutrition, homelessness are few social issues. As a result, it makes difficult for the people to achieve their full potential. Observe these pictures, children. Here we can see children spending time together without their families. Yes, we can also observe malnutrition among them. Without sufficient food, they look pale and thin. They are isolated from their families. They doesn't have families to look after them. Children, look at this picture, children. At a very tender age, these young ones started to work. They work as daily wage laborers to fulfill their needs. This type of children who work in order to fulfill their day to day needs are referred to as child labor. These young ones are abused and are isolated from their families. Have you ever seen such type of children? Have you met them? We call them as orphans. These orphans are taken care in orphanages. Raising children in an orphanage or other institution harms their health and development. It increases their exposure to abuse and puts them at risk of future criminal activity. Children in orphanages feel isolated from their families. In this reading A, Oliver asks for more. We are going to learn about a boy whose name is Oliver Twist. In this lesson, we find how Oliver became an orphan. The author of this novel is Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens is a well known English novelist. Due to his father's imprisonment, Charles left school and worked in a shoe factory. While he was working as an office boy, he launched his writing career. His novels, Oliver Twist, Great Expectations, Pickwick Papers, Bleak House, A Tale of Two Cities, and David Copperfield brought him name all over the world. He went on lecture tours to America and got literary reputation. He focused on social issues and human alignments in his works. Children, Dickens has depicted the plight and suffering of the poor children and also the underclass English people during the Victorian period. It is not just a beautiful piece of work, it is a social document. Let us watch slides on glossary, which may help you to understand better. Parish, a church committee. Oakum, loose fiber, obtained by untwisting and picking apart old ropes. Extract. Passage that has been taken. Devoured. Ate hungrily or quickly. Appetite. The desire to eat hunger. Let's see the next one. Gruel. A thin liquid food of oats, rice, etc. Strides. Long steps. Often. A child whose parents are dead. Let's begin with the actual reading of the text. This is an extract from the novel Oliver Twist, written by the British novelist Charles Dickens. It is the story of an orphan boy named Oliver who is brought to a children's home. Yes, the novel has set in a workhouse children. Mr. Bumble walked on with long strides. Little Oliver, firmly grasping his gold laced cuff, trotted beside him. Oliver had not been within the walls of the workhouse a quarter of an hour when Mr. Bumble informed him that the board had said he was to appear before it forthwith. Yeah, Mr. Bumble is the in charge of of the workhouse children for a period of 15 minutes, quarter of an hour. It means that for a period of 15 minutes, Oliver was not present in the workhouse. So he was asked to appear before the board. Not having a very clearly defined notion of what a live board was, Oliver was rather astonished by this information and was not quite certain whether he ought to laugh or cry. He had no time to think about the matter. Mr. Bumble asked Oliver to follow him into a large whitewashed room where 8 or 10 fat gentlemen were sitting round a table. Yes, he don't Oliver doesn't have any information about what a lifeboat was. Okay, so he was feeling very, he was not quite certain what it is. So at the top of the table, seated in an armchair rather higher than the rest, was a particularly fat gentleman with a very round red face. Yeah, all these gentlemen were seated. About 8 to 10 gentlemen were around the table. Now, bow to the board, said Bumble. Bumble asked Oliver to bow to the board. Oliver brushed away 2 or 3 tears that were lingering in his eyes and seeing no board but the table, bowed to that. Yeah, Oliver, he was about to cry. Tears were in his eyes, so he was about to cry. He don't have he Oliver is not aware of the live board. What the live board actually mean? So seeing no board but the table, he was able to see only the table in front of him. So he bowed to that. What's your name, boy? Said the gentleman in the high chair. Yeah, the gentleman asked the name of the boy. Oliver was frightened at the sight of so many gentlemen, which made him tremble. The beadle gave him a tap on his back with his cane, which made him cry. Yes. Boy, said the gentleman in the high chair, listen to me. You know you are an orphan, I suppose. Poor Oliver, who is not aware of the word orphan, is replying in this way. What's that, sir? Inquired poor Oliver. The boy is a fool. I thought he was, said the gentleman in the white waistcoat. Hush, said the gentleman who had spoken first. You know you have got no father or mother, and that you were brought up by the parish, weren't you? Yes, sir, replied Oliver, weeping bitterly. Oliver was crying like anything else. What are you crying for? Inquired the gentleman in the white waistcoat. So he questioned Oliver why he's crying for. I hope you say your prayers every night, said another gentleman in a gruff voice, and pray for the people who feed you and take care of you like a Christian. Yes, stammered the boy. Yes, stammered the boy. Stammering means it's like making repetition in speaking. While speaking, if they make the words repeatedly speaking, it is called as stammering. Okay. What are you crying for? Inquired the gentleman in the white waistcoat. I hope you say your prayers every night, said the another gentleman in a gruff voice, and pray for the people who feed you and take care of you like a Christian. Yes, sir, stammered the boy. Well, you have come here to be educated and taught a useful trade, said the red faced gentleman in the high chair. Yes. So you will begin to pick oakum tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, added the surly young one in the white waistcoat. Yeah, they all thought that Oliver was old enough to start working in the workhouse. So they asked him to start picking up oakum as a part of his work. Oliver bowed low, directed by the beadle, and was then hurried away to a large ward where, on a rough, hard bed, he sobbed himself to sleep. Yeah, poor Oliver, as he lay sleeping, unconscious of everything around him, the board had taken a decision that would change the course of his life. Yeah, now the board has taken a decision that which has changed the life of Oliver. See what happened. Let's see what happened. The members of this board were very wise and philosophical men. As they turned their attention to the workhouse, they discovered that it was a regular place of public entertainment for the poorer classes. It was a place where they had breakfast, dinner, tea, and supper all the year round and free, where it was all play and no work. This was really a shocking state of affairs. They were of the opinion that the poor should be given only two alternatives, either to start quickly outside the workhouse or gradually inside the house. With this view, they decided that the inmates of the workhouse would be issued 3 meals of thin gruel a day with an onion twice a week. So, the board was of the opinion that these orphans have become the regular place of public orphanages. These orphanages have become the regular place of public entertainment for poorer classes. And finally, they have come to the decision that the poor should be fed with only 3 meals of gruel a day with an onion twice a week. Children, we can see Mr. Bumble and Oliver in these pictures. Yeah, Oliver was asking for more food, and let us see what's going to happen in our session 2. Children, let's quickly sum up your understanding levels in our reading comprehension part. Yeah. What is the theme of Dickens' novel Oliver Twist? Yeah. The theme in Oliver Twist is the age-old battle between the good and the evil. Yeah. It is the age-old battle between the good and the evil. Yes. Let's see the next question. How did Oliver feel when he was asked to appear before the live board? Yes. Yes, children. Yeah, that's right. As you all know, Oliver had no clear idea of what a live board is. So we'll write in this manner. Oliver had no clear idea of a live boat. He was rather astonished by the information. He was not quite certain whether he ought to cry or laugh. Yeah. Going to the next question, children. Yeah. Who was Mr. Bumble? Yes. Who was Mr. Bumble, children? Yes, he's the in charge. Okay. We'll write in this manner. Mr. Bumble was the in charge. He had full authority over the people of the workhouse. Yes, he had full authority, no children? Yes. Going to the fourth one. How did Mr. Bumble treat the children? How Mr. Bumble treated the children? Yes, Mr. Bumble starved and ill treated the children in the workhouse. Yes. Yeah. Children, going to the vocabulary part. Let's see some antonyms. Yeah. Starting with the first one. Oliver was frightened. The antonym of the word frightened is brave, or we can write as courageous also. Yes. Let's see the next one. You have come here to be educated. The antonym of the word educated is uneducated. Yes. On to the next one. Oliver wept bitterly. The antonym of the word wept is laugh or rejoice. Yes. The members of the board were very wise. The antonym of the word wise is foolish. On to the next one, children. The last one. They turned their attention to the workhouse. The antonym of the word attention is distraction, or we can also write as carelessness. Thank you, children. In the next session, you will get the complete picture of the novel Oliver Twist and what made Oliver to ask for more. Yes. Children, meanwhile, you can also go for online tests to check your understanding levels.